Good evening, everyone. Welcome to VEDANTU Karnataka. This is Shambhavi, your physics master teacher. Hope all of you are doing good and great. So kindly let me know if my voice and video is clear. Hope it is fine. I'm just checking here. Hope it is fine. Yeah. Yes. Hello, Anita. Hello, Sunita. And Revati, I guess. Yes. Yeah, very good evening to everyone. How was your day? I hope the video is also clear. There was some issue with the camera, so it got a little late while joining to the session. Hope everything is fine with audio and video. Kindly just give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we are good to go ahead. Yeah, I think it's fine now. Yes, thank you for your response. So if we just quickly recollect what we have done in our previous session, essentially we were discussing about something called as projectile motion. So that is different types of projectile motion is also covered. One is the normal projectile, ground to ground, or oblique projectile motion also you can say, or angular projectile motion also you can say, that we discussed. Then we have moved on to horizontal projectile motion and also to projectile motion on an inclined plane. So these things we have discussed in the previous classes. So today we'll just quickly recollect some formulas, and there are 2-3 points which I was supposed to tell you regarding the projectile motion on an inclined plane. So we'll consider that facts, and then we'll move on to some questions, practice questions and PYQs on projectile motion. And if we are left with some time, we can also start a little introduction about circular motion. Okay, if the time permits, we'll go for this, or else we will work out till the problems on projectile motion. So that is the plan for the day. Yes. So to start up, we'll just quickly recollect the facts. So what we were discussing with respect to projectile motion on an inclined plane, if you can just recall. So we had, this is our horizontal reference line. Then I can say we are having our vertical reference line, which was with respect to our previous cases. And then we also had an inclined plane with an angle alpha with respect to the horizontal line. So I call this as horizontal line, this as vertical line, and this is our inclined plane at an angle alpha with respect to the horizontal. And we also considered a line which is perpendicular to our inclined plane. Okay, so I hope this is going to be the perpendicular to the inclined plane. So I'll say perpendicular to I. 1 second, something. Yeah, perpendicular to. Okay, 1 second. This is hanging up, I guess. Yeah, perpendicular to inclined plane. Okay, so this was with respect to the basic, the planes that we are considering. And I think if we just rotate it back by an angle of alpha in this direction, we are actually going to get our the normal or oblique projectile motion. And we also had let us say we have a projectile which is projected upward the inclined plane. Okay, upward the inclined plane. So this case we have discussed. So like 2-3 formulas remain same for upward and downward. Upward means what? I'm saying that the projectile is projected in this direction. Okay, downward means the projectile has been projected down the inclined plane. So we have projected in this direction. Both are possible. Okay, both are possible with respect to the inclined plane cases. Okay, so you can throw upward an inclined plane, or you can imagine like you're throwing a downward and inclined plane. Okay, hope that is fine. Yeah, and we also consider this is our initial speed u, which makes an angle theta with the inclination. So this is the notation I have used. Okay, so theta is the angle between the initial velocity u with the inclined plane. So please remember that because different books are considering different notation, because in some books they take this entire angle as theta, that is from initial velocity direction to the horizontal line, they are taking it as theta. In their formula, wherever I have theta, they will get something like theta minus alpha. Some minute changes will be there, but both are going to be the same one. You should know what you are taking, what you are considering as theta, and correspondingly you have to take the formula and you have to take the values from the problem. Okay, so I'm just repeatedly telling you because you might later confuse that okay, here the formulas looks different and in some books the formula may look different. Okay, that's why I'm telling you. Hope it is fine till here. Any doubts? Yeah, so this theta is the angle between initial velocity u and the inclined plane. Okay, plane of inclination. So that is theta. Okay, so alpha is the angle of inclination. So what is alpha here? Alpha is the angle of inclination. Okay, so this is the notations which we have used. So now quickly just recollect the formulas that we have dealt with. So one is time of flight, that is 2u sin theta by g cos alpha. So I already told you that in our previous cases, in our projectile, the normal projectile motion or ground to ground or oblique projectile motion. So what we had, the entire acceleration due to gravity was along the vertical direction and acceleration along x-axis was 0. But here it is not the case. There is a component of acceleration along the inclined plane, also along the vertical direction. So along the vertical direction we have g cos alpha, whereas along the inclined plane direction we have g sin alpha. Okay, and essentially, so if I just have to draw that, hope if I draw here you can see it. So vertically downward what we are having, so we have our g here, and then along the inclined plane is this direction and perpendicular to the inclined plane is this direction. Okay, so the angle between this vertical direction and the vertical line to the inclined plane, so is alpha, because angle between I and h is alpha, so angle between their perpendicular is also going to be alpha. So this is our g cos alpha and this is our g sin alpha. So here we can put a negative sign also because both are in the negative direction. And there is one more thing which you can note is minus g sin alpha, or what is the direction of g sin alpha? The particle is trying to go in this direction, whereas our g sin alpha is acting in this direction, right? So if I had to mark on this inclined plane, so this is our g sin alpha direction. Okay, that means the particle is getting de-accelerated as it goes from this bottom of the inclined plane to this particular point. Okay, throughout its motion it is de-accelerating. So that is another point which you had to remember. Okay. Okay, because acceleration is not along the direction of motion of the particle, but it is acting opposite to it. Hope it is fine till here, everyone. Kindly just give me a quick thumbs up so that you're following and I can go ahead. Okay, so the particle is getting deaccelerated along the inclined plane because our acceleration is g sin alpha acting opposite to the direction of motion of the particle. Okay, retardation irodalli minus g sin alpha irodu, so it is getting retarded motion. Okay, so we had a time of flight as 2u sin theta by g cos alpha. So allella namge g along the vertical direction enittu g ne ittu, so denominator g irta ittu, but illi enagutte namge, so along the vertical direction to the inclined plane alli enide g cos alpha component ide, so illi namge g cos alpha barutte. Okay, and illi iddiddu namge vertical component of initial velocity u sin theta, illu u sin theta ne ide, but illi theta is the angle between initial velocity and the inclined plane. Okay, and then we had this expression for maximum height, en bandittu u square by 2g sin square theta by cos alpha. Again, cos alpha term is the extra one. Okay, and then I think we were discussing about this range. So range alli en discuss madidvi, 2u square by g sin theta into cos theta plus alpha by cos square alpha. I have told you how to get this equation. So illi enagirutte, acceleration along x-axis is not equal to 0. Okay, so range andre maximum horizontal distance. Okay, so that you have to find out by substituting, time t is equals to 2u sin theta by g cos alpha substitute ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That is x is equals to ut plus half at square ಅಲ್ಲಿ t ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ನೀವು, 2u sin theta by g cos alpha ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. a ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು minus g sin alpha substitute ಮಾಡಿ simplify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will get the range of the projectile, which we get it as 2u square by g. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ previous case ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ range equation 2u square. So okay, let me write like this, u square into 2 sin theta into cos theta by g ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ, 2u square by g is fine, this term is still there, into sin theta cos theta ದಲ್ಲಿ change ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, cos theta plus alpha full angle ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so this is the slight change which you had to know. Okay, similar compare ಮಾಡಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ equation, ಆಗ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ so many equations are there, you will start forgetting the formulas. So I am repeatedly giving you a comparison for all these formulas. Okay, hope it is fine. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 2-3 points will make a note. So the first point, maximum range. Okay, so range ಯಾವಾಗ maximum ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, so ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ dr by, one second, again it's hanging there. Yeah, so we had something like dr by d theta. Okay, you should differentiate this range equation. Okay, so differentiate the range equation with respect to theta and equate it to 0. What you should do, dr by d theta is equals to 0 ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This is one method to find the maximum of any function. So maths ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ, any function y is equals to f of x ಅಂತ ಏನೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು 0 ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ dr by d theta is equals to ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಥೀಟಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಥೀಟಾ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಇದೆ, ಕಾಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2u square by g cos square alpha ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಇಂಟು ಕಾಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಟು 0 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಥೀಟಾ. ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಥೀಟಾ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು pi by 4 minus alpha by 2 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? So if you can recall with our previous or the the normal projectile motion, ಅಲ್ಲೇನಿತ್ತು range ಯಾವ angle maximum ಇತ್ತು, the range was maximum for 45 degree or pi by 2, right? So this is range become maximum. But illi pi by 4 alla, pi by 4 ginta some smaller angle theta, that is pi by 4 minus alpha by 2. Okay, so ee condition nimage gottidre saku, sarina? Yeah, pi by 4 minus alpha by 2 is going to give us the maximum range. If theta andre again I am repeating, theta is the angle between you and the inclined plane. Okay, so that should be equal to pi by 4 minus alpha by 2 agirbeku, and maximum range is given by R max is equals to u square by g into 1 plus sin alpha agate. Okay, so this is for upward or up the plane. If the the projectile motion is in the upward the inclined motion, inclined plane idre, maximum range ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ u square by g into 1 plus sin alpha ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, yes Prakruti, you have a doubt regarding board exams, right? Yeah, it depends on how many PYQs you solve. At least 5 to 8 papers you had to solve. Okay, and whatever you solve on the day of exam, you had to present it neatly. You had to write the required exact steps, required exact answer. If you do that, you will get it. Okay, if you just solve one previous year question paper, like last year paper, and then if you go for exams, that's not going to be enough. So if you solve like 5 to 8 papers, then you can score well. Okay, hope it is fine. Shall we go ahead? Any doubts? Any doubts? Quickly let me know here. Yeah, I think there are no doubts. Okay, so there is one more I can give. I'll just see. Yeah, I can write here. So that is, if the motion of the projectile is down the inclined plane, I'll just say downward. Okay, downward the inclined plane. So ee case alli idre enagutte, slight change agutte. So R max value change agirutte. R max is maximum range will be simply equal to u square by g into 1 minus sin alpha agirutte. Okay, so ee case alli 1 plus sin alpha irutte, whereas down the inclined plane adre 1 minus sin alpha agutte. Okay na? Is that clear? Any doubt? Yes. So down the inclined plane idre condition pi by 4 plus alpha by 2 agutte. Okay, so ee angle condition slight ag change agutte, pi by 4 plus alpha by 2 agirutte. Okay, and maximum range enagirutte u square divided by g into 1 minus sin alpha. Hope it is fine till here. Shall we go ahead? Yes. Any doubts? Okay, so we are going to start with the problems. First problem here, a ball with which is thrown from ground. Okay, it should be a ball which is thrown from ground at an angle of 45 degree. Then it will just pass top of the tower, which is located at the distance of 6 meters from projection point, and the ball will hit the ground at the distance of 4 meters ahead of tower. the height of the tower is. So looks like complicated, but it is not. It's a very simple question. So a ball which is thrown, so let me just write it, which is thrown from the ground. So it is a ground to ground projectile motion. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, let me complete this and then I want you to tell one more point regarding the inclined plane projectile. So I'll tell after completing this problem. So in ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, so let us consider a simple projectile motion. Something like this. Okay. It is projected at 45 degree anta ide. So initial velocity u makes an angle of 45 degree with our x-axis or horizontal direction just to pass the top of the tower, which is located at a distance of 6 meter. So let me mark this point as 6 meter. Somewhere here we have 6 meter, let us say. Okay. So 6 meter ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು tower ಇದೆ. Okay. So let me say there is this tower. Okay. Or let me just draw a box. That's better. Yeah. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, at 6 meter from the point of projection, okay, there is a tower. Okay. So and we are supposed to find out the height of this tower. Okay, we are supposed to find out the height of this tower. And ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, the ball will hit the ground at a distance of 4 meter ahead of the tower. So tower ಇಂದ point of projection ಇಂದ tower ಗೆ 6 meter ಇದೆ, and ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ where it reaches the ground again ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, so ಅದನ್ನ 4 meter ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, so if this is a situation, what is the height of the tower ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So can someone tell me, without working out, from the given data, what is the range of the projectile? The question actually namge range of the projectile kottidare. Can someone tell me what is the range of the projectile? If I give you some time. Yes, anybody can try? So range ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? No answer? So clear ಆಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ, the range of the projectile will be equal to 10 meter ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Do you agree? From the point of projection to the tower 6 meter anta ide, and the ball is reaching the ground at a distance of 4 meter on the other side of the tower anta ide. So total horizontal distance traveled by the projectile ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೆ, 6 plus 4, which means 10 meter ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Okay, so 10 meter is going to be the range. I am asking you the range. 45 degrees the angle of projection, that is theta value ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. Theta is 45 degree and we have to find out the height. Okay, yeah. So again ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, we have to find out, see, I know the x coordinate over here, that is nothing but equal to 6 meter. So e point ali, if I call this as some point p of x comma y, I know x coordinate as 6 meter. Okay, y coordinate find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? Yeah, so that is going to be trajectory equation. So ಆ ತರ ನಂಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. Okay, so ನನಗೆ x coordinate ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, y coordinate ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ y is not our maximum height. ಇಲ್ಲಿ maximum height ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು x ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗೆ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋ height ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ಟ್ರಜೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ y is equals to x tan theta into, I mean 1 minus x by r ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತು, ರೇಂಜ್ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ y is equals to x tan theta into 1 minus x by r. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ x ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, 6 ಇಂಟು tan theta, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಥೀಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 45 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. tan 45 degree into 1 minus x under 6 divided by the range is to 10. Yes. So then simplify madi. Let me just write here. Y is equals to 6 into tan 45 value 1. Correct? Tan 45 degree is 1 into 1 minus 6 by 10 ide andre 10 minus 6 is 4, 4 by 10 agutte. Okay, so idana further simplify madidre ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? So this is like 2 2s and 2 5s. So 12 by 5 meters agutte, or this is like 2.4 meters agutte. Okay, so that is option 3 is going to be the correct answer. Okay, hope all of you got it. Anyone? Any doubts? Any doubts? Shall we move ahead to the next question? So ee tara kottiro data na ನೀವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಟ್ರಿಕ್. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ KCET ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾನ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವೇ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಎಸ್ ಅನಿತಾ, ಗುಡ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ದಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. 12 by 5, which is nothing but equal to 2.4 meters. Okay, so next question. In the graph shown in figure, time is plotted along x-axis. Which quantity associated with a projectile motion is plotted along y-axis? So illon graph ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, x-axis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅವರೇ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ y-axis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗೆ, ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಪಾಸಸ್ this is remaining constant. You can see that the quantity is remaining constant. It is not changing with time. So projectile motion alli yava quantity remains constant with the time? Throughout the projectile motion, which particular quantity remains constant with time? Can someone guess? Anybody? Anybody can try? So this is one important question. Idu nimge board MCQ lu keltare sometimes. So projectile motion alli in in fill in the blank allu irutte sometimes boards alli MCQ iruttalla allu keltare. First 1 mark in the questions baruttalla alli. Anybody? No answer. It's a very simple question. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಬೋ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರಿತೀವಿ, ಹಾಫ್ mv². ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ಹಾಫ್ mv². ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, m into v, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಇಂಟು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದದು, Vx, which is always equal to u cos theta ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? In a projectile motion, the velocity along the horizontal direction is u cos theta. So for a given projectile, it is constant because there is no acceleration along x-axis. So this point I am repeatedly telling you, in the projectile motion, the normal ground to ground projectile motion, there is no acceleration along x-axis. So velocity along x-axis remain constant, but velocity along y-axis constant alla. Okay, so this is not equal to constant. Andre total velocity change agutte. Okay, total velocity change agutte andre kinetic energy nu change agutte, momentum change agutte. So ideradu change agutte, changes with time. Okay, so change ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಯಾವುದು, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ u cos theta. So option 3 is the correct answer. Okay, hope it is fine with everyone. Shall we go ahead? If you just have joined to the session, mark your attendance please. Also like the video by giving a thumbs up. Also you can give me a thumbs up in the chat box as well. Okay, hope it is fine. We can move to next question. In case of 3 na? Yes, option 3 is the correct answer. Yeah. In case of a projectile fired at an angle equally inclined to the horizontal and vertical with velocity u, the horizontal range is. Okay, so we are projecting a projectile at an angle which is equally inclined to horizontal and vertical direction antide. Correct? So hangidre range enu anta kelidare. So enu draw ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಈಗ. So if I just consider a projectile motion, so ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, we are projecting, so this is my x axis, this is my y axis, this is our initial velocity direction. So it is projected equally inclined to horizontal and vertical direction andre theta ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿ? What should be the value of theta? Equally inclined to vertical and horizontal direction andre, can someone tell me what is the angle of projection theta? Can someone try? Anybody? Simple one, right? So angle between horizontal and vertical direction is to, this is 90 degree, correct? So equal ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ theta ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? It should be 45 degree. Hope you agree. Theta must be equal to 45 degree. Okay, theta 45 degree ಆದರೆ range ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So range is u square sin 2 theta by g. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಂಜ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಥೀಟಾ 45 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಯು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ ಜಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ದಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಯು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ ಜಿ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 1 is the correct answer. Yes, Anita. I think there might be a slight lagging with your response I'm receiving here. Anyway, yeah, thanks for your attempt. It is 45 degree and hence range will be equal to u square by g, and we know that this is the maximum range possible for a angular projectile motion, correct? Because sin 2 theta value will become 1. It's the maximum one. Option 1 is the correct answer. Okay, so hope we can move to next question. 3 projectiles A, B and C are thrown from the same point in the same plane. Okay, so in the point of projection for all the 3 projectile A, B, C same ಇದೆ. Their trajectories are shown in the figure. Which of the following statement is true? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 statement ಇದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೈಲ್ ಎ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ರೇಂಜ್ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ? ಫಾರ್ ಸಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ರೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿ is greater than range of B is greater than range of A ಇದೆ. Hope you agree. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ರೇಂಜ್ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ? ರೇಂಜ್ is more for C. ಓಕೆನಾ? Okay, yeah. Yes, Anita, I meant the same. I think I'm receiving the message little late. Yeah, there is no lag in the class, but in the chat box, whatever the message I'm receiving, no, there slight lagging might be there. Yes. So the range is more for C. Okay. Range formula, you know. So range is given by, yeah. So you can write in many ways. It is like one is ux into time of flight anta baribodu. Currently I am writing like this. Later you will understand why I am considering this. Okay, so hope you know this, correct? ux into t anta baribodu alva. Horizontal distance traveled is horizontal velocity into time. Okay, so ಈಗ time of flight in equation first consider ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ time of flight? Because ಇಲ್ಲಿ first optional ಏನಿದೆ, time of flight is the same for all the 3 ಅಂತಿದೆ. Time of flight equation ಏನು? 2u sin theta by g. Okay. ಈಗ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಹೈಟ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಡು ಯು ಅಗ್ರಿ? ಸೊ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು? ಹೈಟ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಹೈಟ್ ರೀಚ್, ಸಾರಿ, ಓಕೆ, maximum height reached is same for A, B and C. ಮೂರು ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೈಲಿನ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಹೈಟ್ ರೀಚ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು? ಹೈಟ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ u square sin square theta by 2g. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? Or from here 2g anyway it is a constant, right? Always. So we can say if height reached same idre, we can say u square sin square theta must be same for A, B and C. Hope you agree. U square sin square theta product idala, that must be same for A, B, C. Then only height reached same agatte. So u square sin square theta same andre, we can also say u sin theta must be same. That implies u sin theta must be same for A, B and C. I hope you are agreeing with me. So height same ide andre u square sin square theta same irlebeku. Height same anta yakande nanu, so illenide, so if you just observe, you can see that the maximum height reached by the three projectile same ide alva. Height same ide andre u square sin square theta same ಆಗಬೇಕು. u square sin square theta same ಅಂದ್ರೆ u sin theta same ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ u sin theta ಏನಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ, that implies time of flight t is equals to 2u sin theta by g. ಸೊ ಈಗ u sin theta same ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we can also tell that time of flight must be same. Hope you agree. Time of flight must be same. Okay. So ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು? ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. Hope you got this point. Just let me know if you understood this point. Just give me a thumbs up so that I can go ahead. So what I'm trying to say, maximum height same ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ time of flight same ಬಂದಿದೆ ಈಗ. Okay. Because vertical motion ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ same ಇದೆ. Only the acceleration due to gravity is acting on all the three particles. So as their heights are same, we can clearly tell that their time of flights are also same. Okay. So explanation ಏನು? Yeah, u sin theta, that is the vertical component of velocity, is same for all the three projectiles. Next point ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, the launch speed is greater for particle C ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? The launch speed is largest for particle C ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಈ ರೇಂಜ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್ equation ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು? ರೇಂಜ್ is equals to u cos theta into t ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಈಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇಮೇ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಮೋರ್ ದಿ ರೇಂಜ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಯು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಯಾ, ಮೋರ್ ದಿ ರೇಂಜ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಯು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಸೇಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಯು ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, angle of projection. Okay, let me take a different color. So illi this is for C, right? And this is for A, the last one. So theta for A is greater. This is theta C. This is theta A. Correct? Theta for C is smaller than theta for A. Okay. So ಈಗ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್. ಹಂಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ as theta increases, sin theta value also increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, from the graph we can say theta A is greater than theta B is greater than theta C ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Hope you agree. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ theta C which is smaller. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಥೀಟಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೈನ್ 0 0, ಸೈನ್ 91 ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೈನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಬಟ್ ಕಾಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ಎರಡರದ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಯು ಎ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, the launch speed is largest for particle C antide. So that is also correct. Hope you agree. Okay, logic gottaita. So yava same ide aa equation itkondu compare ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ, then only you can arrive at it. Okay na? So next point enide, the horizontal velocity component is largest for particle C antide. So adannu ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೋಯ್ತು equation, horizontal component ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೆ. More the range, yeah, more is the ux. Okay, so ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, range is more for C, which implies ಇಲ್ಲಿ time of flight same ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ more the u cos theta. U cos theta is nothing but ux, correct? So we can say ux of C is more, okay, for when compared to projectiles A and B. Okay, so basic equation itkondu compare ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, yeah, range is ux into t. So more the range, more must be ux, that is horizontal component of velocity must be largest for particle C. Okay, and hope you understood. The launch speed is largest for particle C. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, I mean you compare with the u sin theta must be same ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಥೀಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ನೀವು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಈ ಮೂರು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದೆನ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್. ಮೂರು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಮೂರು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಟ್ರೂ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಬೋವ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 4 ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. Yes, Anita, hope you got it. Hope others also following the session can quickly give me a thumbs up. You can like the video, and if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Okay, so we'll move on to next question. So ಇದೇ ತರ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಯಾವ್ದೋ 3 ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರು ಮೇ ಬಿ ರೇಂಜ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರೋ ತರ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, 2-3 ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಇಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಡೇಟಾನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ದ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೈಲ್ ಇಸ್ y is equals to 16x minus x square by 4. The horizontal range is. So again ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೆಜೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎರಡು ಟ್ರೆಜೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಒಂದು tan theta u square cos square theta ಆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ರೇಂಜ್ ಬೇಕಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ದದು, y is equals to x tan theta into 1 minus x by r. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ನ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಗೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಓಕೆ, ಏನು ಫೋರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗೆ, 16x ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ 1 ಮೈನಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 16 ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 16 ಬೇಕು ನಂಗೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ 16 ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್, I had to multiply by 16 to the denominator so that I am not changing anything in the given equation. Correct? And ಅಲ್ಲಿ x square ಇದೆ, 1x common ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ, just x ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. So x divided by 16 into 4 ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ? Hope you agree. So if you just still send it inside, okay, so ಅದೇ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನಂಗೆ, 16x into x will give me 16x square divided by 16 by 4 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ 16 ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, x square by 4 ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಸೊ ಫೋರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಈ ಐಡಿಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಫೋರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಬರಿತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಅದೇ ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ನ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಈಗ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಏನ್ ಬರಿಬಹುದು? 16x into 1 minus x by 64 ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆನ್ಸರೇ ಬಂತು, ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಬೇಡ. ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ರೇಂಜು, ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ, r is equals to 64 ಅಂತ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಅಗ್ರಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ನೋಡಕ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 3 is the correct answer. Is that fine? Shall we go ahead? Quick. Any doubts? Okay. So moving to next question. A body is thrown with a velocity of 9.8 meter per second, making an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. It will hit the ground after a time. So andre ಏನು find out ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಏನು? 2u sin theta by g. ಸೊ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. 2 ಇಂಟು u ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 9.8 ಇಂಟು sin 30 divided by g 9.8. So this and this will cancel out. 2 into sin 30 is half, which is simply going to give us 1 second as the answer. That is option 4 is the correct answer. Okay, 2u sin theta by g is the formula for time of flight. It's a simple question, straightforward question, so you can quickly solve in 30 seconds. Okay, hope everyone done with this problem. Shall we just go ahead? Yes. So option 4 is the correct answer. A ball is projected to attain the maximum range. If the height attained is h, the range is. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನು? ರೇಂಜ್ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು 45 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರೇಂಜ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಏನು? u square sin 2 theta by g. But when this is maximum, r max ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ u square by g ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಿದೆ? ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಮಧ್ಯದ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬೇಕು. ವೆನ್ ದ ಬಾಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೇಂಜ್? ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿರೈವ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗುಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ರೇಂಜ್ ಇಸ್ u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ g, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್. ಅದೇ ತರ ಹೈಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಸೈನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಬೈ 2g. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಟು ಸೈನ್ 45 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಹೋಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ನೋ ವೈ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಆಸ್ 45 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ h is equals to u square by 2g ಹಂಗೆ ಇಡ್ತೀನಿ. sin 45 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1/√2, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೋಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ 4g ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ g ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಈಗ? ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಿಸ್ u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ g is nothing but r max, which is given as r. Okay, so again substitute ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. r max by 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, or this will give you the range or the maximum range is 4 times the height. Okay, maximum range is 4 times the height. That is option 3 is the correct answer. Is that fine? Quickly give me a thumbs up. Yes, option 3. I think your answer is for question number 7. Yes, 4h is the. So you please remember, when the range is maximum, the height in that particular case is 4 times, 4h will be equals to r max. Okay, or height will be maximum range by 4 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, ಇದೊಂದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಕಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತರ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಯಾ, h is equals to r max by 4. This is applicable only when theta is 45 degree. So ಬೇರೆ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು height ಅಂದ್ರೆ r max by 4 ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂರ್ಬೇಡಿ. This is applicable in the case of theta is equals to 45 degrees. Okay? Yes. So hope all of you are following the session. Yes, quickly give me a thumbs up and also give me a like to the video. And also if you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. Okay. So I think we are good to go ahead. Question number 8. At the uppermost point of a projectile, its velocity and acceleration are at an angle of. So uppermost point ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So the angle between acceleration and velocity. So this is our regular projectile motion, and we know that everywhere our acceleration in this case is acceleration due to gravity, which is always acting vertically downward, and at the topmost point we know that the velocity of the particle is simply equal to ux ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, which is nothing but u cos theta, and along horizontal direction irutte. It's a simple question, right? So at the topmost point, velocity is u cos theta along the horizontal direction, and g is acting vertically downward. So angle eshtagutte 90 degree. That is option 2 is the correct answer. Hope all of you got it. It's a simple straightforward question. So topmost point or uppermost point alli enagirutte, vy will be equal to 0. Okay, and total velocity is simply equal to velocity along horizontal direction, which is u cos theta ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay na? So shall we go ahead to next question? Quick response please. Yes, here is the next question. A projectile can have the same range r for 2 angles of projection if t1 and t2 be the time of flights in the 2 cases, then. So ಎರಡು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೇಮ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? So for what angle of projection the range of the projectile will be same? It is for complementary angle. That is, one angle must be theta, the other angle must be 90 minus theta. So it's like 60 degree and 30 degree, okay, are going to be complementary angles, or 75 degree and 15 degree. So then the ranges are going to be same. Okay, ಇದು complementary angle of projection ge range same irutte. It's a very basic point, I think you know it. Okay, for complementary angles the range remains the same. ಈಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬರೀರಿ ಎರಡು ಕೇಸಿಗೆ. t1 ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, 2u sin theta by g, and t2 ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, 2u sin theta ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಲ್ಲಿ 90 minus theta ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, 2u sin 90 minus theta by g. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, t1 t2 t1 t2 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ t1 and t2. Okay, so ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಗ, 4u square by g square sin theta into ಇಲ್ಲಿ sin 90 minus theta ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು cos theta. Okay, or this can be just rearranged as, so ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, I can just rewrite it as t1 into t2 is equals to, so 2 into, 2 by g I'll write outside for a reason. So remaining terms ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 2u square sin theta into cos theta divided by g. But what is this? This whole thing is nothing but range. Range is 2u square sin theta into cos theta by g. This is range. So clear agi helbodi iga. Yeah, T1 into T2 will be directly proportional to range anta helbodu. Do you agree? So this is anyway constant. So we can say T1, T2 is proportional to the range. Okay? Is that fine? So that is option 2 is the correct answer. Hope it is fine with everyone. So there are 2 or 3 problems were there which we will discuss in our next class as the time is running up. Okay, so if there are no doubts, we can wind this session here. And I think everyone done with question number 9 as well. Okay. So a quick reminder for your MVSAT exams. Hope you know the dates, 4th, 5th, 11th and 12th of October. And the center will be JP Nagar, our offline center at second phase JP Nagar, Bangalore. Okay. Do register yourself. The links are available in the description of all the current or ongoing videos. Do register yourself and take the test. Okay. Fine then. If there are no doubts, I'm just going to wind up here. Thank you all. Have a good day ahead.